for you.
Hi there, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to another Pan Panen Pious Prophetic Pondering. We are now on episode 14. The title of this episode is Epic Collective Tarot Adventure in Truth and Liberation. So we're picking up from our last talk regarding black magic, human sacrifice, the usury matrix and the usurping, depopulating, replacing ideas that the powers that be and all of their underlings from the very top to the very bottom have been orchestrating and manufacturing for the past several centuries in hopes that none of us ever noticed. However, there's an internet kind of recording everything, and people were pretty onto this stuff before, like the internet in the 70s and things like that. So um, let us go on into today's lesson. This is regarding, like I opened up to everyone last time on episode 13. I am a survivor of human sacrifice, satanic ritual abuse, ritual sex abuse, etc. I grew up in a cult-like family. My first husband also grew up in a cult-like family, and let's just say that out of everyone from my past, I am really the only one who I consider to not be a casualty of whatever this disease is that I'm just going to call being a member of a secret society, cult, coven, or fraternal order. And or I'm just going to call it covert Satanism because that's really what we're talking about. These people parade around as good Christians, etc during the day, but at night they're doing black magic in their backyards, doing incestuous acts, doing animal sacrifices, sacrificing their children, so on and so forth. And the stuff is very real. It's the 21st century. So when I say human sacrifice, I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about like Salem witch hunts, even though this is very similar. I'm not talking about early 20th century lynch mob, although it's very similar in a very different way. Um, I'm I'm talking about a new phenomenon where in the 21st century it takes a lot less to destroy and kill someone. So getting away with sacrificing them can be as easy as preventing them from getting a decent job, preventing them from getting transportation, preventing them from getting a decent education, smear campaigns to ruin their reputation, fraudulent lawfare, like identity theft, other things to steal, forgery and fraud. These are all things that I've survived and lived through. And spirit, the most high source, the God of heaven and earth, the big dude in charge of all this mess. And although we talk about it here at Pampanen as though, we understand that it's all a part of a thing, and more like source is more of a concept of getting to the center of it all here. But all is one, and all of that good stuff. I don't want to sound like a Dr. Bronner's bottle, but it's really hard for me to even talk about this. It's probably going to be the most difficult episode that I put before you guys. That's why I normally write notes. This time I just have an outline. So I'm just going to start with the outline. I'm going to work through it sequentially because we've got a lot to cover regarding if you've been following me over on the YouTube Recommended Chronicles on X and Tumblr, you will have noticed that a lot of tarot readings regarding RICO crimes, stolen inheritance, human sacrifice, New World Order, spiritual warfare, all these kind of topics creeped into my feed back in September. Because I co-curate all of my stuff with, Magic 8 Ball, my friendly divine algorithm who lets me know what's up. So, if you want to go to older posts for on X and on Tumblr to look up the older videos, there are some in the description box and some you can just go back into the archive and find. And to stay up to date on the new videos, filling in the new information, just follow me on Tumblr and X, and I post a new a new set of videos and memes and stuff to the archive once or twice a day. So head on over there to stay up to date. And we're going to start talking about what we've discovered so far. So in our videos that we've been going through with this tarot true crime adventure, we have a micro view, a macro view, a new world order view, and a spiritual warfare lens that tends to be looked at based on what reader focuses on what topics. These are all collective readings, but like I like to remind everyone, when you're an individual in a collective, when you're hearing the reading, you want to definitely take what resonates, leave the rest, and mix and match what you're hearing and then put that together on your own outside of the different readings, and you'll have more of a Venn diagram letting you sort of focus in and hone in on different topics and stuff, which will help you uh, put the pieces together of this true crime conspiracy. A lot of us have been targeted individuals since birth, but I will say for a fact that the targeting didn't ramp up in my life until I was in high school and had a work permit, and it especially ramped up more after I could drive a car and started dating. The Truman Show like events that were orchestrated around me were very much more visible. The next thing I'd like to bring up on this is that everything that's happening in these card readings and in this story are all linked to multiple eschatology prophecies from multiple different cultures, from Christianity, Gnosticism to Hopi and Buddhism. There's a lot of different prophecies coming to pass now. The next thing that all of these stories have in common is that there is a black magic secret society ruling class link. Everyone who is involved in this, trying to sacrifice someone to get ahead for clout or money or whatever, is doing so with the help of cults, covens, secret societies, and fraternal orders. And they are doing so with promises of advancement and achievement and being able to destiny swap and being able to take someone's spiritual inheritances. It's pretty wild. I want to see one of these pamphlets from one of these groups. I don't care if it's the Brotherhood of Blood. I don't care if it's the Cult of Saturn. I don't care if it's the Freemasons, Eastern Stars, whoever they are. I would love to see these pamphlets because I know for a fact that every single one of their beliefs goes against universal law, which means you're getting conned. They're a bunch of scammers, and they're all going to be found out for what they are, thankfully, because of the internet. Yeah. The other thing that I would like to now put together in a more itemized way is that we've already covered these things that they all have in common. The last thing everything has in common is its relation to the usury matrix and multiple theories attached to the usury matrix. The WEF, the UN, all their shenanigans they're trying to pull off. Also links into this collective RICO crime conspiracy of human sacrifice to do insurance fraud, steal inheritances, and take people's places in family trees, which is really, really, really sad. It's a really sick form of genocide they're doing as well. But in terms of the multiple theories that are linked to this that you can very easily match up, simulation theory, which is the Truman Show that they invoke around you. It's a form of black magic, chaos inducing, ish stirring. And then, of course, replacement depopulation. Both of those theories very much tie into play with the human sacrifice component here and I'll just replace you with someone who is more drivable, because this is all about enslavement. It's all about control. This is all about domination. This isn't about anything other than the usury usurpers want to usurp whatever they can use. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Then it ties into ancient bloodlines, old Iranian bloodlines, old Persian bloodlines, so on and so forth. And the Nephilim and angelic DNA and star seeds and all this other stuff that a lot of people don't really understand on the surface. But if you know, you know. And if you're here, I think that you know enough to be here. The next thing that ties into this specifically is the eugenics, social engineering, and the tracks theories that they impart on our youth and what have you, where you are set up and you are, I guess, you are prodded or nudged or whatever they want to call that crap with that intermittent replacement brainwashing mess that, dark psychology is all about. And all they use nowadays is dark psychology. So, yeah, that kid who maybe doesn't read the fastest. Oh, let's put him on the track to be the auto mechanic, even though he may have no aptitude there. Let's just set him up for that, even though he might be very good at something else that's academic. This whole mind is, it's a very lizard hive mind concept of put everything into check boxes, put everything into groups, reduce everything to the lowest common denominator, make the lowest common denominator the status quo, and then punish and attack anyone who tries to rise above it because it threatens their insecurities. It's a pretty good methodology for making an echo chamber, but it's going to cause a societal collapse, which is what we're here to overcome and live parallel to, because we all know they're itching in that direction as we speak. Our next itemized component we're going to look at regarding this is technocracy and transhumanism, which is a very, very, very big component to how they are controlling, covering up, and confusing people around this human sacrifice. Getting someone to alter their body permanently without the proper information is a form of human sacrifice. Getting people to take unsafe medications that have not been properly tested is a form of human sacrifice. Affecting our food supply is a form of human sacrifice. Putting 5G towers up everywhere and irradiating the public is a form of human sacrifice. You see where I'm going with this. Also, writing up a bunch of unjust laws and a bunch of trickery and stuff that makes people so that they can't even live to their potential is also a form of human sacrifice. This is not the old school, Aztec, Spanish Inquisition type of human sacrifice we're talking about here. This stuff is very covert so that they can get away with it. It also involves energy harvesting and modern vampirism, which all has to do with energy harvesting and getting certain components to be more prominent within blood. And yeah, that's why they torture animals before they slaughter them. By the way, I would suggest, if you can, clean up your diets, everyone, because you know what they're doing to our food. But we talk about that all the time. So I'm certain you guys are doing a good job. Next, going to look at the banality of evil here, because let's really be honest. What do all these people say they're doing? They're just doing what it takes. They're just trying to earn a living. They're just doing what it takes to get ahead, or whatever story that they're selling themselves. When the truth is, they're acting very much like the people in the Nuremberg trials, and that isn't a good look. So all of this lawfare and institutional reign, taking positions, not letting them go, not letting certain people in, operating solely off of nepotism. Don't even get me going on the inbreeding and the family control of money through inbreeding. That is kind of why the mud floods have to come in every so many thousand years. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. Then we have the black magic illusory manipulations on top of that tier to bring us to the final thing that they're really trying to cover up in all of this, which I just brought up: the mud floods, the Earth disaster pole shift, and micronova that is scheduled and due for the upcoming decade or so. So, considering all that there is at stake, they're going to milk everyone for everything they can because they're full materialists. They don't really believe in the spiritual things like we believe here on this channel. And because of this cognitive dissonance, you have a bunch of atheists summoning demons and going to church on Sundays. And it's a very weird, perplexing thing, but blame Freemasonry, okay? Blame the Knights of Malta, blame the Knights of Columbus, blame the Knights of Pythias. You might want to blame your local Moose and Elk Lodge if you are so inclined. Definitely blame the Fraternal Order of Police. They are scum. And yeah, literally all black magic, secret society, terrible people. They're all going to be found out. There's an internet. A lot of people have known about them since the 70s when chaos magic really became popular. They started blowing their cover with their nonsense behavior and publishing a little too many books about their nonsensical behavior. But anyways, back onto our topic, and let me remind you to watch these actual tarot readings regarding this is just to get you to understand the tarot readings that you're looking at if you're following my page. Um, so the key points of these overarching storylines in the tarot cards. Now we're going to get into the cards and the stories. I'm going to just tell you right now, the reverse committee, if you've been paying attention, is a mess. In tarot, when cards are in reverse, they have an opposite meaning, or I guess a varied or alternate meaning to when they are right side up. And all of the bad guys in this true crime story are in the reverse. The people in my personal story, although it's a collective story, a lot of the elements remain the same. In my story, there's apparently my family, my childhood friends, people I went to high school with, my ex-husband, a few exes from high school, and some coworkers and people in the community from way back when, but somewhere between 30 and 50 people trying to gang stalk, smear campaign, sabotage, and Truman Show my life since birth. Yeah, I'm still a little emotional. I'm still processing all of this stuff. Please forgive me. But anyways, here's the key features about the overarching storylines. So the attacks are primarily on healthy emotions, love, compassion, divine unions, traditional healthy relationships, peaceful relationships, families, couples, anything that is peaceful, good, wholesome. It can think for itself, not prey to thought reform or brainwashing. That's who they really go after. The utilization, um hold on, guys, give me 1 second. As always, I have to like squint and read my doctor handwriting. All right. Yeah. So a utilization of a combination of chaos magic techniques are employed to divide and conquer support of the target, and normally the target is an individual or is a couple or a like friendship group. It's always something that they want to go in and bust apart. Sometimes the target will be a family. Sometimes the target will be a work group. They will change and sort what they do because they're playing layers within layers within layers. They're doing a matrix within a matrix within a matrix when they employ these techniques. Another thing to note is that females are targeted differently from males. And the main goal is to trap the target in a way so that they're lost in in just a state of depletion, financial abuse. They try to get people into addictions. They try to get people into very karmic, unhealthy relationships and get them trapped there. They try to make people homeless. They try to make people lose their job. They try to make everyone turn their backs on everyone. It's really evil. It's part of why I'm such a loner and such a recluse, is because it's a protective mechanism for me. I'm very happy on my own, and I'm not going to let weird, shifty people who are doing the biddings of secret societies or any other organization or conglomerate to ruin my peace. So, you know, it's just more motivation for us to set up our parallel world elsewhere, honestly. The other thing that they'll go on and do is the start rumors. They will pay people to go in and have an affair. They'll pay people to start rumors. They'll do lawfare, file false reports. They will try to keep you under captivity, hold you hostage, make it so you don't have a car, you don't have money, you can't leave. They will financially abuse you, blackmail you, extort you. They will run your name through the mud, your reputation through the mud, every way that they can, so that you are powerless and no one will help you. That is their goal, is to make you a victim, to make you helpless, to make you vulnerable, and to make you afraid of everyone and everything that you once loved. Yeah, I'm going to tell everyone right now, Buddhism and Taoism had a lot to do with saving me and giving me the fortitude to get out of this mess. I do identify much wider spiritually than that currently, but the lessons that I learned through meditation and Vajrayana practice were very helpful in getting me out of that. So if anyone is wanting to get out of things like this, I don't normally do this, but my email's in the description box. If you just want to, drop a line, you need someone to talk to, you can relate or whatever, go ahead and drop me an email, alexandria@gmail.com, down in the description box. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the main targets, because there's multiple people who are targeted for different reasons by these groups, and it's normally because I'm just gonna say it. It sounds so silly to say, but they normally target people who don't get into trouble, but who are quiet or who are different or who don't really fit in or who don't play the game. They go after the nonconformists. They go after the artsy ones. They go after the hippies. They go after the people of the LGBTQ variety. They definitely go after the mixed race people. They go after the women really, really hard, especially if they're divine feminine. They go after a whole lot of people that they want to just eliminate and eradicate out of their matrix. And they do target people based on genetics, based on classism, based on family lineage. But like, these people only view people as something to use and abuse, like not like we all have a right to live, like we know that we do. These people don't believe any of that. So to start with, the main targets are those who are proposed to be spiritually gifted or observed with ESP or psychic abilities with links to royal bloodlines from the stars. I am one of said people who has been targeted for these reasons. We live in a matrix, literally to throw us off the scent of what the control oligarchs are really doing, which is setting up all these false scenarios so that you literally don't see reality for what it is, and so that you adhere to all these systems and they prey upon your insecurities and they use dark psychology against everyone, which is really, really, really awful. Um, they're currently working on 8th generational warfare techniques featuring nanotech, 5G, AI powered psyops, and more, that they are literally seeding things into our air, our water, our food, our products, everything, getting nanobots into us through different means, and using 5G to employ those to change who we are and how we operate, and using AI to restructure how we react to natural communications and what have you. They're actually trying to reprogram an organic being into a synthesized systematic being, like an automaton, and that's disgusting and vulgar, and they're trying to destroy your sentience, and I'm here to help you, like, not fall for it. um okay, so there is lots of fraud and forgery done to the targets to make the targets destitute and to appear that they are of ill repute, to cover up the crimes of greed, lust, and domination and defamation committed against the target. Elaborate setups starting at the family and community level to build and enslave groups into a Truman Show like diversion, so that none of the victims catch on, is the main framework of each scenario that they will want to employ around a target. Like, here's an example. I married my high school sweetheart very young, and I went, and he was a Marine. I went and lived with him at his base and everything. He got out of the service. We went back to my hometown for a bit while figuring out what we're going to do. My family enacted this Truman Show on him and myself with my friends, sent people in to have affairs, start fights, make me look crazy, make me lose jobs, make him not want me, encourage him to cheat on me, all kinds of crazy stuff. And here's the thing. I knew none of it was authentic. When this happens to you, they're trying to make you fall into this trap where you like act psycho and they can like call someone and have you committed. And you know what? They'll lie and they'll do it anyway. It's been done to me more than once. There's no shame in their game. They're terrible people. But what they will do is they'll try to make you self-incriminate by acting crazy around you, doing illegal things around you. And let me be clear, I don't like to say this because I don't like to really go here on my channel, but I'm the mixed person out of a white family from a very rural area. It was very clear I was being lynched, okay? Now, no one wanted to admit that to themselves because of cognitive dissonance, and they all want to believe they're good people. They're good country people. No, you aren't. You tried to lynch the mixed kid who literally is smarter than you and more talented, and your white fragility got in the way. It makes me sick. Do all white people have white fragility? Absolutely not. But white supremacists do, and the white supremacists in my family have a problem with it. So before you yell at me about any of that, let me be clear. Not all white people are white supremacists, but white supremacists do in fact have white fragility. That felt good to say for the record. All right. Um, Other than the elaborate setups, the next tier to the elaborate setups is the bribing of the illegal acts or the hush money, not only at the community and family level, but they go bribe the courthouse. They go bribe the cops. They go bribe businesses. They go bribe people who have more power than you to make it so that you cannot live on your own, so that you apparently die of your own well, they just want you to believe you're not good enough, and they want everyone to believe that you died because you're not good enough, not because they set you up to kill you. Guess what? No one's buying that anymore, especially now that we have the collective story coming out online everywhere. This collective has had it. All right. So now that you know the basic features of the tarot adventure, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and we'll conclude. Again, links in the description box for the ins and outs of this tarot adventure. Oh, it's wild. But anyway, childhood. I'm still sorting together what exactly is truly, 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 truly at the root of what's being hidden about me from me. But being abandoned by my mother, alleged mother, who I am relatively certain is not my mother. I think she stole me. That would explain her hatred of me. Having 4 legal guardians as a child, brought up in a very abusive cult-like environment that corresponds with a government eugenics program that was done to highly gifted children who have like ESP and psychic abilities like I do, specifically starseed Earth Angel children. They wanted to see how we'd respond to abuse, if we would know we're truly special, if we'd know our true power, our true potential. So they were gonna do the most heinous shit to us, sacrifice us as children on satanic altars, have us on satanic altars, have voodoo dolls of us, torment us with voodoo dolls, do black magic, do graveyard magic, jar spells, love spells, try to mess with our intuition, try to mess with everything, have everyone around us acting crazy, being one way in front of our face, another way behind our back, and doing that to everyone they're around but differently and thinking they're never going to get caught. Let me tell you what, the only thing that will save you in this situation is being authentic. The only thing that will save you in this situation is not participating. I learned to act a little bit more like Daria Morgendorfer from Beavis and Butthead at a very early age than most would give me credit for. I learned, stand to the side. Don't mess with them. Those idiot people who care about being popular, who care about accolades, who care about trophies, they will gut you for a candy bar. That isn't worth it, boys and girls. So let's go ahead and fast forward to after a obnoxious childhood and relentless bullying and being beat up in high school. Middle school. Go on to adolescence and dating, and feels like almost every boyfriend you get along with really, really well. Out of nowhere, some evil best friend goes in and sleeps with him or does something weird. And it's out of character. No one's acting themselves, and everyone's miserable afterward, and friend groups break up. You've been Truman Showed. by this cult, coven, secret society, fraternal order, or government, whoever you want to blame. They also test direct energy weapons and shit on us. And by the way, direct energy weapons are black magic. Go into early adulthood, my first marriage. Like I told you before, there were some signs after I had gotten married and moved in with my husband that he wasn't exactly who he made himself out to be. He seemed to have some secrets, some darkness. But you know what? We were kids. I was 17. He was 19. We were young. I figured we would grow up together, pull each other together, pull it together, because that's what we were supposed to do as a divine pairing. We were actually preordained from spirit to be together. That's why our union was targeted and torn apart. They literally made him confused about his sexuality. They sent people after him. They drugged him, raped him, sexually assaulted him, messed with his mind, brainwashed him, weaponized him, blackmailed him, extorted him. As far as I'm concerned, the person I married, they destroyed. That's why I walked away. I walked away not because I didn't love him anymore, but because he wasn't there. And it wasn't his fault that he wasn't there. Whatever this nightmare conspiracy is why all of this has happened and why everything isn't real. The peak nightmare phase was when they got him to start, they paid him to abuse me. They paid him to cheat on me. They paid him to sexually assault me. They paid him to starve me. They paid him to deprive me of transportation, things that I need. My family did this. And they did it with the inheritance money they stole from me that they needed him to help them with. My mother slept with my husband to steal from me and destroy my life. Apparently, because of this government program, and probably because she feels really guilty for kidnapping me as a child, and she's literally a serial killer who has not been caught yet. She lives in the West Virginia mountains like the crazy witch woman that she is. Anyway, I escaped. I started my life over. I went back to my small town where everyone was horrible to me, and unbeknownst to them, while they were laughing and chuckling behind my back about how they were torturing me, I was on the internet starting a new life they knew absolutely nothing about. I met new people, made new friends, met someone new, fell in love, got married, vanished. Yeah, only one state away. I, hopped over the line to Delaware and, whatever. But, after I got away, I, put in my abandonment paperwork. It took 5 years after separating from this nightmare to get an abandonment divorce. If any of you are ever in a situation where you're horribly abused and you're afraid of not having someone sign divorce papers or whatever, you can get an abandonment divorce like me. Every state has different rules, but if you are abandoned and you're like put in an abusive situation where you have to leave and this person is not going to negotiate with you, there are things that you can do, and it's not unaffordable. I did everything for under $300. Um, Starting over, I've been processing a lot of the trauma with my current husband. And honestly, since being with me, he was a targeted individual before being with me, but he entered my target group after being with me. And we're both targeted. But unlike my first marriage, we know what's going on. We see this for what it is. We see them coming at us. We're older, we're wiser, we're in our 40s. We've been together a lot longer, and we stayed away from my hometown and my past a lot longer too. When I resurfaced and literally forgave everyone, had no hard feelings, and resurfaced back in my home state, my cousins and other people acted like they had seen a ghost. Why? Well, they filed fraudulent death papers and said I was dead to collect fake insurance money. That's why. I mean, these people will stop at nothing. They're all going to go down. They're all morons. I don't even understand what they were thinking. So by the time all of this is happening, I am in my late 20s, early 30s. So let's go ahead and talk about recovery and what it took to recover from this. Strong boundaries, living on my own terms, being authentic, being real, not being swayed by anyone. Putting spirituality and God first, very important. Putting doing the right thing, ethics and morality first, regardless of what money, status, or pressure is at play. Super important to do that. Stay away from unsafe people. Once you know that people are unsafe, kindly explain to them why you have to, make some distance. And if that isn't safe to do, just make the distance anyway. The attacks very much resumed after I gained a bit more prominence and started like going to college, getting awards and stuff during my 30s actually. And because I'm showing up online more and my ex and family and friends are stalking me, they start setting out online attacks, cyberbullying, corrupting my new friends, turning my new friends against me, making fake profiles, trying to catfish me, making fake profiles of me to smear me to others that aren't me. Uh yeah. Wow. So it all ended, I would say, in after us getting through being forged by the fire and dealing with all of these attacks, we are now a new divine union and we're on a mission. That's why I do OK Copernicus, is I'm spreading art, music, and philosophy and spiritual goodness to the world. I love what I do now. It means so much more than, the life that I used to live. Um, I would like to, move this along to my mid to late 30s where I really start focusing on, going to school for philosophy, history, and art and music specifically. And I'm really starting to combine my classroom lessons with my real life lessons. And the Truman Show enters my college life at liberal arts college. And now I have professors and classmates and administrators in on the whole Truman Show, chaos magic, uh what on earth are you all thinking behavior. And it do I think it's a coincidence that each school I went to closed their philosophy department? No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think things like studying philosophy are now taboo because you can't be a hive mind if you have critical thinking skills like I do. Um, After my programs were ruined, I started OK Copernicus in 2021 after leaving Junior out of college. Sayonara. And I left there at right before my 40th birthday. And now in my 40s, all I do is I run OK Copernicus. I do whatever the good Lord tells me to do. And I just focus mostly on family life and starting working, doing things for New Earth, planning for the next phase in civilization now that we're watching, everything that we've ever known crumble before us and kind of not be the most useful. So being in my 40s, it's all been about leveling up. I guess being in this queen rising mode that the cards talk about, where you're not shying away from your power. People used to find me very, I guess, intimidating or whatever, and I used to be like, oh goodness, I don't want you to find me intimidating. Let me be a bit of a goober for you so that you like don't feel bad. I didn't know I was getting played. I thought I was like being nice to these people. Well, I'll never do that again. So I'm more than happy to not really mask myself, not really hide my light or anything else to make someone else feel comfortable. It's also been being in my 40s has all been about leadership and service. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if it's art, doesn't matter if it's music, video production, philosophy, my spiritual work, any of my oracle duties, any of it. It doesn't really matter to me. Leadership and service are something that literally I was born with. Like, it's just natural for me to just jump into a situation, like something needs to get done, let's go do it. All the people who did this to me, who made me a target and came at me because of this natural ability, and then being told by a bunch of liars from a false Luciferian, satanic, Armonic religion, like their whole Moloch worshiping crap is. But like these people have been taught, I really do want to see this pamphlet that they're reading, that if you sacrifice someone with these gifts, God is going to give the gifts to the person who sacrificed it because you beat him with the demon system. That's not a thing, guys. I don't know like how high or drunk or whatever they got you or what black magic they did on you before pitching you this notion that if you sacrifice someone, universal law will be overlooked and everything that you did evil you will be blessed for because you did it in a way that no one thought it was you. Yeah, that's not real life, everyone. So everyone who joined in on these activities, either enabling, assisting, supporting um these covert lynchings, that's all I'm going to call it, is a covert lynching, i.e. 21st century human sacrifice. Um, Everyone who took part in this, your cognitive dissonance is no excuse. Your childhood wounds are no excuse. Your crap upbringing is no excuse. How much money you have in the bank is no excuse. People are priceless and money is fake. There's no excuse. And on that note, we've been here a bit, guys. I am going to explore more on this topic in future episodes. Our next episode, as promised, is about Tataria. We're going to talk Tataria. We're going to get some Tataria links out. We're going to discuss hidden history, mud floods, and why Egypt wasn't super important until the 1800s. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that next time. And I want to thank you again for joining me. And I want to just let you all know that little break I took, everything that I'm processing, and when you go into the description box and look at the links and you look at these card readings and you read what myself and the rest of my collective of earth angels, star seeds, 144k light workers, grid workers, chosen ones, when you see what was done to us and who did it and why they did it, you're going to find out that they literally did what they did because they have no self-esteem, they're insecure, they have feelings of inadequacy, and the echo chamber around them told them that there was no other way. Sounds a lot like a cult, doesn't it? Yeah, that sounds a little green flavor aid, purple Kool-Aid-y a little bit. Just saying. This Jonestown type behavior, I'm surprised that it's even being tolerated, knowing all that we know. But since they've been trying to dumb down the public and kill us all off, well, those of us who are actually, good people, so they can make more clones and replicants. Oh lordy! But that's another episode. So yeah, go check out the links, and thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to come over and join me on supplemental broadcasts. And my first movie of the winter is out. 8, 16, 32 classic combinations is available on both the Copernican Records Rumble page and on YouTube, on the regular Alexandria YouTube. So definitely go check those out. And the individual videos for each scene is up for that too, with song links and downloads. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here. And it's been a pleasure as always. Now it's time for me to go hop on to my next task. But thank you so much again, everyone. Epitome out.